Ladles and jelly spoons, welcome back to Badgerworks. Today, this. Yes, we are back with the MiG-29 of the Ukrainian Air Force, the Ghost of Kyiv, and hopefully today we'll get it finished. So let's get on with it. So yes, we are back with this today. As you can see, I have put some primer on it. So that's all ready to go, and what we're going to do today is we're going to start painting it. Now for paint, we're going to be using this, or partly this. This is the paint set that goes with this model. I didn't even know ICM did their own paints, to be honest, but when I got the model I saw they had this as well, and I thought, we'll give it a go. So what we need to do first is we need to paint the upper side of the aircraft with this off-white. So we'll get on with that, and we'll go from there. Right, so like I said, the first thing we need to do is paint the top of the aircraft with A, and A is the off-white, so which is this one. So we'll give this a poke and see what it's like. Like I say, I've never used these before. But, oh, they give you a little pot of varnish as well. We might try that as well. Let's put these to one side for a minute. All right, well, let's throw some in the airbrush and see what it's like. Oh, now, I've just been looking at the box here, and it says, paint is prepared for a brush. For airbrush, dilute with water or thinner 40 to 60%. So we'll put some in the brush and see what it looks like, and then we'll thin it if we need to. Oh, it's literally a it seems quite gloopy. Yeah, I see what they mean about that being prepared for a brush. Look how thick that is. That is definitely going to need to be thinned. Okay. The plot thickens, as does the paint, apparently. Right, so I've been having a bit of fun with this paint. As is often the case with new types of paint. This stuff is very thick. It's designed to go on with a brush, so it's very thick. So I tried thinning it with some isopropyl alcohol, and it just turned into a blob of glue, basically, which wasn't great. But that did make me think that it reacted to the IPA in the way that a lot of Vallejo paints sometimes do. So what I've tried doing is using some Vallejo airbrush thinner, and that seems to have worked. So I've got a little bit here in a pot that I was just playing with, and that seems to have worked, but it is quite thin. So I think what we're going to have to do is we're just going to have to give this a few like very light coats and kind of build it up. But let me just show you. As you can see, it's very wet. Which is fine, it's not the end of the world, but it, like I say, it just means that we've got to put it on very, very light, and then we'll hit it with a hairdryer for a minute and let it dry, and then we'll basically just keep building up the coats very slowly and carefully, but we'll get there. So yeah, you just got to be very careful not to put it on too thick, as it will run like anything. So let me give this a few coats and dry it off, and then we'll see what it looks like. Right, so a little update. This is still wet, as you can probably see. It's had 4 coats of this, which does not seem to be covering very well. But to be fair, it is designed for brush painting. It's not designed for airbrushing. So yeah, it's kind of funny because it's like if you look at the stabilizer That's still wet as well. But you can see where it's starting to dry, the grey is showing through of the primer. So it really doesn't seem to be covering very well. So I'm going to leave this now for a while and let it dry completely. Because one of the things I've noticed is that with every coat, once you dry it, the primer just shows through. Which may not actually be the end of the world, because this really doesn't look very off-white to me. It looks more just white. So maybe having the primer show through a little bit will actually help. And let's face it, this thing is going to be almost covered in decals anyway, so maybe it's not the end of the world. The next colour we need to think about after that is this sky grey, which to me looks more like an off-white. It's kind of weird. Because if you look at the plan here, the underside looks more like, it looks a lot darker than this. See, that would look to me, if I just had to pick a colour, just looking at this picture, I would go for something like an XF83, a medium sea grey. I don't know what I'd do for the top. I'd have to think about that. But that's what that looks like to me. This seems way too light, but that might just be how this is printed. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'll leave this to dry. I'm going to look at some more reference pictures, and then we'll go from there. Right, so I've mixed up this sky grey, the same as I did with the white. It's like about 50-50 airbrush thinner and paint, and we'll see how well this works. I've obviously masked off bits as well. So let's see how this goes on. Not terrible. Yeah, I think this is going to be the same as the other. It's going to take a few coats to cover, but it actually seems to be going on better than the off-white did. So I'll give it a few coats and we'll see what it looks like. Right, that's that done. It's not dry yet, but you can hardly tell the difference between the two colours. It's like if you look where it joins here, there's a slight difference, but not much. But that's all right. Okay, we'll let that dry, and then we'll do the nose. So I've masked up the front now, and we're going to do this with some XF1 flat black. There we go. Right, now we're going to do the nose cone. You can see I've masked it up, and we're going to use this XF53 neutral grey. There we go. Right, so what we need to do now is there's a couple of little detail bits I want to do, mainly just these bits on the engines, but I'll do those with the brush. And then we can put some varnish on it, and then we can start putting the decals on, which is going to be hilarious. Because it's either going to go really well or really badly, but we'll see. Right, so I've just given everything a coat of high coat gloss lacquer. Not a sponsor, but you know, anyone from High Coat's watching. And what we're going to do now is let this get dry, and then we'll start putting the decals on. Right, decal time. Also, I just sneezed and my nose is running, so that's great. But yes, decals. So we have, as I mentioned right at the begining, 2 sheets of decals, one that's got all the like the aircraft bits on, as it were, the numbers and everything, and then this one that's got all of the digital camo on it. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how well these go on. Now, some of them, and I don't know if I'm trying to get it to catch the light, so I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, but so like this big one here, this is the one that goes down the back of the fuselage. So it's this one here. It basically covers the whole back of the fuselage. I think that's going to be hilarious putting that one on. What I might do is I might actually cut these and put these pieces on individually, because I don't know if you can tell, but there's like a big clear bits in between holding them all together, and getting those to sit flat is going to be really awkward. So I think what I might do, because the ones for the rear vertical stabilizers, which is what I've got here, and I'm using this as to show you guys, because basically it's easier to get under the camera, but that has this one on it here. So we'll put that one on, and we'll just see how well these go on, because if this goes on nice and lays flat and all the rest of it, then great. I'll try putting these on as they are. But if not, I might actually have to cut these up, but we'll see how it goes. Let's get this one off first. Right, so I've got my little wax burner here with some hot water in it. This, quite frankly, is going to be the make or break of this project, I have to say. Because if these go on okay, we'll be laughing. If they don't, we're doomed. But I've got me Mr. Mark setter as well. So let's pop this in the water. Oh dear. That's curled up like a good one, as suspected. Okay, let's get some of this on here. And it lines up with the front of the stabilizer. I should really put my glasses on to do this. Where am I? There they are. Right. Oh, it moves easy enough. That's something. Right, let's see if we can get this on there. It's one of these things with something like this, is it's nice in a way having these like big decals, because it means that you can get them on a lot easier. But in other regards, they're an absolute nightmare, because they're very awkward to fit. Right, that needs to go. Oh, I think we're almost there. That actually went on surprisingly well. Now let's see if we can get it to lay flat. That actually went on way easier than I thought it was going to. And it's even conformed to the edges quite nicely. Wow, that actually... And it's sitting in the grooves as well. You know what? I think we might be all right here. We may well be all right. And that also could be famous last words, of course. Yeah. I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not, but it is actually sitting. It's sunk into the grooves already. So yes, I think we might be okay with this. Wow, that has gone on really well, actually. I'm very impressed with that. Wow. Good job, ICM. That's all I can say for that. Wow. Very, very impressed with that. So I will get the rest of these decals on. When I get to that big one in the middle, I will try, if I can, and do that under the camera, but I don't know if I'll be able to. But I'll try and do it under the camera so we can see how well that goes on. But yes, that's gone on very well. So let me get on and put the rest of these on, and we'll take it from there. Right, so I'm just going to put this one on the end of the wing here, because this, I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. I'll try and get the light to catch it, but it's got a couple of bits here that are kind of filled in with the clear stuff. So I'm going to put this one, this goes on the end of the wing here. So I'm going to put this one on and see how well it goes on. And then that will help us gauge whether or not we can put these big ones on. Because that's going to be absolutely hilarious getting that one on there. But let's try this, see how it goes. That is moving nicely. Get on there. Right. Oh. That needs to go more towards the end. About there somewhere, I think. Something like that. About there, I think. Right, let's see if we can get this to play ball. Oh, it's moved. Of course, it's bloody moved. Oh. No, it's still moving. There's too much stuff under it. We'll get there. Oh, come on. There we go. Let's go in. These, honestly, these decals go on so nice. It's, I really hope you can see that, but that has just sunk straight into all of the little lines and divots and whatever else on this wing, just instantly. And I mean, I know like this, the Mr. Mark Setter is helping, but even so, that has gone on there so well. I am genuinely very, very impressed. It's funny that the kit itself has had some issues, but these decals are great. They really are. They're very nice. Whoever makes your decals, ICM, they need a hearty pat on the back. Right, let's get silly. And let's see if we can put this one on. Because this one here is the rest of that wing. And it's that is one big piece. Where are my scissors? Right, let's see how well this goes. Yeah, this is basically the rest of that wing. So let's get that in the water. That will do you know what? Oh God, do you know what I'm actually concerned about? Is whether I'm going to be able to fit the other decal actually in the pot with the water, because I think it might be too big. Come here, you. Right, let's get this wing sourced up. That's way too much. Perfect. Ooh, this is going to be good. Come on. There we go. Whew. These decals are huge. Right, now can we get this into place? Let's get some more. It's wrinkling. It's not sliding, it's just wrinkling. Oh, that's folding up. Please don't fold up. That's also torn. Oh. Come on, you can do it. I think that actually also needs to go that way. Because I think this edge here needs to line up with the edge of the wing. Yeah. Oh, this is going to be horrendous. I can see why they've done it as one big decal, but it would have been really nice if it had been a couple. But we'll see. Let's get some more stuff on here. Because we want to create something that this can basically slide across the surface. So do you know what? Hang on a second. As a wise man once said, hang on lads, I've got an idea. Leave a comment if you know where that quote's from. You'll be showing off your age. Just gently move this. I'm not pulling the decal, I'm just trying to straighten out where it's creased. Oh. Let's just lift this a bit and hopefully that will let it slide. Oh, it doesn't want to move. And yet it's moving. Cross everything. Right. Okay, now we need to get this into place. Yeah, it's torn there, but we can live with that. Right, let's try and get that to the edge of the... Oh, don't do that. See, this needs to move forwards a touch as well. I think, honestly, we kind of need the whole thing to go this way just a little tiny bit, which I'm not overly thrilled about trying to do, but I also don't want it to stick to my finger and rip. Right, okay, that's doing something. Let's try and get some of these bubbles out from under it, and it might actually do what we want it to do. So we'll start from the middle and work our way out. Because you can see with this clear bit, there's big bubbles underneath it, and we need to get rid of those. What you can do as well, and I might even do it with this if it's necessary, is once you've got this on, if you take a knife, you can just like cut these clear bits out, if it helps. But I want to see how well they sit. Because you can see they've got wrinkles in them, and I want to get rid of those wrinkles. Right, let's get another. think it's working. I think I would still recommend cutting the clear bits out, but it is working. I think we might have cracked this. There is a bit of a wrinkle there that we might better get rid of with a bit of brute force and ignorance. What I'm going to do, I'm hoping this knife blade's sharp enough. Just run that down there. Oh, the missus is here. Hello, missus.
Hello, missus. Ready?
Oh, okay. Right, apparently my dinner's ready. But that, I think, has been a success. And I just realised, hopefully I had that under the camera while I was doing that, but, you know. So, yes, apparently my dinner is ready, so I'm going to go and have that. But, yeah, I think we're going to be all right with these decals. So I will get the rest of these on, and we'll basically go on from there. I might film putting the big one on just for a laugh, but we'll see how it goes. But let me get the rest of these on, and then we'll pick it up from there. Oh dear, that was exciting. Right, now the fun really begins. We got to put this one on. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put this on in two pieces, because it goes on here, and obviously we've got this antenna in the way. And from what I can gather, the antenna basically goes in this like open bit here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this dark grey bit off, and remove some of the material, like the clear material here, so that we can put this on in front of it and then put this on behind it. And I think that'll make life a lot easier. So yeah, we'll cut this one off, clean it all up a little bit, and then we'll put this on and then put that on afterwards. Right, and now for the really fun bit. Trying to put this bloody thing on. The size of that. Will it actually go in this? I think it will actually fit, yes. Just about. Right. No laughing. Right, let's get plenty of this on. Okay, here we go. This is going to be hilarious. Right, that needs to go there, and then we need to, this is going to just fold up. Wow, that went way better than I thought it was going to. This is still going to be horrendous, but that actually went on a lot better than I thought it was going to. Okay, let's see what we can do here. We need to move the whole thing forwards. Let's get plenty of this on there to let it move. Oh, it doesn't want to move. This is going to be horrible. Let's try and get some of this to run down underneath it. It's going. Why put that on backwards? Oh no, here's the right way around. Right, so we need to get that touching there, so that's fine. And then we need to get this straightened up like that. Try and get some of these creases out of it. And now we need to get this dear. This does not seem like it's going to fit very well. I think we're going to have to cut some of this out. Oh, I've poked a hole in it. Never mind, we'll do that in a minute. Right. Let's try and get rid of some of this if we can. Like that. We'll do the same on this side. Yeah, because you see there's these cutouts here and they're supposed to sit around these and they're in completely the wrong place. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but that is not gonna do what we want it to do. But we will endeavour, as always. This doesn't want to cut, it just wants to rip. Come on. Just tearing. The trouble is, what makes them so nice to fit, the fact that they're so thin, also makes them very difficult to cut. I think what we might have to do is see if we can get these to lay down into those recesses, which is not what they're supposed to do, but I don't think we're going to have a lot of choice. I don't quite know what's going on with this, because this is nowhere near. It's the same shape as the one in the picture, like on the plan here, but it doesn't sit where it does in the plan, if you see what I mean. I'm just wondering whether to actually cut that. Right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a new blade on the knife just to give us a bit better fighting chance, and then we'll try that again. It just goes to show how quickly these blades wear out, because I only put this blade on here like yesterday, and it's I've barely used it, but it's been enough just to dull the tip to make it not want to cut these decals. And this is why, in fact, I'll see if I can show you even. Where did that blade go? I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you or not, but we'll try. Right, so if you look at the tip of that one, the one on the left compared to the one on the right, and you see how much more pointed the one on the right is to the one on the left, and it just goes to show how quickly these points dull. So the rest of the blade is fine, but it's just the very tip that, of course, that's what you're using when you're doing stuff like this. So that's where the problem lies. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that across there. See, that's gone through that much better now. And now let's see. Oh dear, this is so awkward to move. Let's get some of this. I want to try and get this to float across a bit. Come on. Come on. There we go. Right. And then we'll move this back like that. Like that, you see. That looks much better. Oh, dearie me, this is going to take a while. Talk amongst yourselves for a minute. Right, and now we want to move this bit, because you can see where this edge is supposed to be down here, and it's nowhere near where it's supposed to be. Oh, that's one way to knock the paint off. Oh, come on. Right, I think we're getting somewhere. Let me have a little more of a fiddle with this. Stop laughing at the back, and we'll see how it goes. But I think we're getting somewhere. Oh, well, after much wailing and gnashing of teeth, that's not looking too bad. I still think it was a lot easier than painting it, to be fair. And as I said, these decals are actually, they're very good for this. They're very thin and they're flimsy, but that's kind of what you want. So the trick is to like get it on there, then cut out any bits that are, you know, causing problems, and kind of go from there. So I will carry on and put the rest of these on, and then we'll come back and have a look what it's like when it's done. This might take a while, so, you know, fun. Well, that took way longer than I thought it was going to. But as you can see, we've got all the decals on now. And I have to say, it looks rather good, I think. yeah, these decals are a bit fiddly in places, but they settle in very nicely, and they cover very well, which is nice because obviously this is a very light, base color, and there's no like bleed through even on the roundels. That they look very good. So yes, hats off to ICM for that one. I don't know if they do their decals in house or whether they farm them out to someone else, but wherever they come from, they've done a good job of them. So the next thing we need to do is a bit of kind of final assembly. So what I'm going to do is put the vertical stabilizers on, put the engine nozzles on, and then we'll give the whole thing a coat of a matte lacquer to seal it all. So let's see if we can get these stabilizers on, because they fitted before, but will they fit now? Now it's all been painted, because they were quite a snug fit. But let's see what we can do, shall we? Right. Just got to be so careful with these wires. And then this is where I found out that I've put the decals on the wrong bits. What I shouldn't have done. Right. I might need to scrape the paint off of that. Hang on, where are my glasses? There they are. Let's just scrape a bit of paint off of that, because that is stopping everything from going together. Ooh, God. That was close. Oh dear, we've all done it. Say, this all went together fine before, but that was before it had a few coats of paint on it. Oh, I'm just really nervous about being anywhere near these wires. That's somewhere near. That's it. Get in there. Right, actually went on a lot better than I thought it was going to. Just put a little bit of glue on it, let it run down. And this actually went on pretty much as I hoped it would. Right, that's that one. Right, now let's try this. Blimey, they're pretty much level as well. Well, who'd have thunk it? Right, so I might have to put a clamp on that somehow. Right, I think that's got it. So we need to leave that to set up. And then what we'll do, as I said, is we'll put the, once that's dry, we'll put the engine nozzles on. Then we'll give the whole thing a coat of matte lacquer. Yeah, but I want to leave that and give that plenty of time to dry. So, yes. But we're getting there, slowly. Very slowly. Right, it's got those got those stabilizers on. Now let's have a look at this. Getting these engine nozzles on. Oh, get off. All right. That is 2. So we'll let those dry, and then we'll wrap this up for the time being. Obviously, we still got a lot more to do, but I think that will do for this video. So yes, let that dry, matte coat, and then we'll wrap this up. Right, so I have just hit this with a coat of matte lacquer, and I think you will agree it has made all the difference. I kind of knew this was going to happen, but it's always so impressive to see it. Because obviously when you put decals on, especially big ones like this, they're shiny, you know, they're like a gloss finish. So they kind of look a bit weird, but once you hit them with the matte and kind of unify everything, they just look like, you know, they've always been there, sort of thing. Anyway, yes, very happy with how this is looking. So the 2 last things we need to do before we wrap this up for now. Oh, I did also put the missiles on, by the way. Just, you know, before I put the matte coat on it. We need to unmask the canopy, which is going to be a thing in itself. And we also need to put this little sensor thing. I think, I'm not sure, and feel free to correct me in the comments. I know these MiGs have what they call an electro-optical sight. And I think that's what this is. It's like an optical sight, but I'm not sure. Feel free to correct me in the comments. So let's take this. I don't want to touch this too much if I can avoid it, because although technically it's dry, I'd like to leave it for a bit longer. Where are my glasses? There they are. Now, this is where the fun's going to start, because I've got a sneaking suspicion that masking tape has lifted slightly. So this could be an absolute disaster under here, but we'll see. Right, let's lift that and see if we can peel that off. Oh no, I think we're all right. There might be a little bit of overspray on it, but it's not the end of the world. That doesn't look bad at all. There's a little bit of cleanup we need to do, but not a lot. Oh, come on. Get off. Well, that doesn't look bad at all, does it? Like I say, there's a couple of little bits here where the paint's bled off, but you can basically clean that off with a cocktail. I'll show you in a minute. But you can basically just scrape that off with a cocktail stick. Now, let's see if we can get this one off. That does not look bad at all. So, yeah, you can see there's a couple of little bits. But what we'll do is we'll get a cocktail stick. That cockpit looks really good black out. I'm very happy with how this has come out. So what we do is we just take a toothpick, cocktail stick, and what we're going to do is we're just going to get in here and just very carefully just scrape that off. like that. A little bit there, but you can see what I'm doing. Just basically go into the edge of the paint you want to keep and just very gently just rub the paint off where it's in the wrong place. But yeah, we'll do that in a minute, because the last thing I want to do for now is put this optical thing on, because if we go back to our frame of clear bits, this bit here is for that. Where are we? There they are. This is going to be great fun because this is tiny. It's probably going to go twang, and I'm going to have to make another one. Oh, no, I think we're all right. All right, let's try and drop that there. Because these other two bits on here, just so you know, they're actually the landing lights, but we don't have the undercarriage down, so you can't see them. So you can't put them on. And I think what we'll do, that's not what I want. We'll use a bit of this Mod Podge gloss to stick it on, but you can use PVA. I know I said before about using the solvent to put it on, but for a little tiny piece like this, it's probably not the best idea because it can discolor if you get it wrong. You know, if you see what I mean, if it goes in the wrong place, it will discolor, and that will probably happen here. So what we'll do is we'll just use a little drop of this on there like that. Doesn't need a lot. And now for the really fun and exciting bit is trying to get this in there. Right, this is gonna twing out the tweezers and we'll never see it again. Oh. The real trick when you're doing things like this with tweezers is do not squeeze too hard. Oh, rat bag. Oh, I nearly had it then. Just talk about yourselves for a minute. There we go. And then we can just pop that into place. There we go. Right. So there we go. So I'll clean up these couple of little bits on the canopy and then we'll call it quits on that. So in the next video in this series that wasn't actually intended to be a series, we are going to basically get this thing finished. So what we need to do after this is attach the missile to the perspex rod, attach the rod to the aircraft, do the wiring, and then put this on the base. I've got something quite special for base. I think you'll like the base. And then do the wiring underneath. So hopefully that won't take long, but this seems like a logical place to kind of stop for now. So yes, hopefully you're all still enjoying this utter madness. As ever, I'd like to thank my top tier patrons, Howard, Amy, Chris and Hawaii Clive O, for their continued support. And I will see you all in the next video. Slava Ukraini. Thanks, folks. Bye.